this started.
Hello, welcome back to our 9 a.m. workouts. Today we're going to start on the floor. A couple things you might want, a towel, obviously some water, and we're going to do some jump roping today. So if you don't have a jump rope, that's okay. You can just kind of go through the hops, going in through the motions, but I did grab a jump rope. If you have one, go ahead and bring it close by. All right, so we're going to start out with a 5-minute warm-up, starting on the ground, legs in this 90-90 position. And we're just going to start some gentle movement. So you're rotating towards the front leg and just bringing your chest down, allowing the back of the neck to relax. And then coming back up and switching to the other side. So just some gentle movements. Hopefully you either took the day off yesterday or did something gentle for your body. So we just want to ease into this morning's workout. We still got another TABATA workout this morning. This one's going to be a little more foundation. Nothing too high intensity today. Let's go one more on each side. Beautiful job, guys. All right, so let's come on up into our tabletop position. From there, we're gonna go into our hip rocks. So let's start with our left leg out. Right knee is right underneath the hip. And then we're just gonna sit back into that right heel. I'm allowing my toes to rotate up and then coming forward. So let's do 5 of those. Rolling into that hip and up. Two more here. 2. And one last one. Beautiful. And then from there, we're just going to come back into that tabletop position. And then let's take that left hand, reach it underneath, allowing your right elbow to soften, bringing that right shoulder, right ear down towards the mat, and then extending up. A little pause there. Good. Last one. Good morning, Pedro. Beautiful. All right, let's bring it back into center. So back into tabletop. Right leg extends this time, sit back into that heel, let the toes rotate up, and then come forward into your tabletop position. So over the next couple days, we're gonna start adding some variables to our workout. So variables are basically just how can you make things a little bit more challenging? How can you add some external weight or some external props to make things a little bit more challenging. So if you have weights, kettlebells, leave us a message. You can DM us or you can just leave a message on the video. But just let us know what you have so that as we start adding these little props, we can try to cater to you guys. Let's go into those rotations. Last one here. Beautiful. All right. So from there, staying in that tabletop position, we're just going to do a little cat-cow, rounding the back and extending the spine. Good. Last 2 here. Beautiful. And then from there, we're going to lean into those hands, tuck the toes under, press your hips up and back. And then just holding there, just pedal out those heels. come up to standing. We've got about 30 seconds, so we're just gonna go ahead and drop down to the bottom of a squat and just hang out there for a couple breaths. So just kind of doing a little side-to-side rock, dropping those hips nice and low. Make sure you've got plenty of space between your feet so that you can drop those hips down. The heels should stay anchored, so make sure that you're in a spot where those heels are down. If they're lifted, maybe shift your setup a little bit. Gotta start my watch or it doesn't count, right? Pressing out against those knees, just taking it into a little side-to-side rock. Beautiful, guys. All right. So today's workout is gonna be a TABATA series. So we've been working on these. Last week we did a little variable where we went back and forth from a couple different exercises. Today it's just gonna be a really strict TABATA. So our first movement is gonna be a squat to side kick. So we'll stay all on one side for each 20-second rest, or so each 20-second round. So it's just a squat down. As I rise up, I'm gonna kick out. So a couple things I wanna look at. I wanna try not to shift over to my right too much. I also wanna make sure that as I kick that leg out, I'm kind of leading with the heel. That's gonna help me access a little more glute work. It's really easy to just come up and kind of flop that leg out, or I can really intentionally think, engage that glute, really press through that heel as I kick that leg out. Working on a little balance. If you need some support, you can get close to a wall, you can get close to a chair, anything that helps you support that movement. All right, so only gonna explain one movement at a time. Don't expect you to remember everything. So remember TABATA, 20 seconds of work, 10 seconds of rest. We've got 8 rounds. I'm gonna start with my left leg kicking out first. You can do whatever you want. Ready, set, and go. All right. So remember, we always wanna think about form and function over speed. Really pressing down into that standing heel, reaching out into that kicking heel. We've got 3, 2, and 1. Good. Nice, gentle, easing our way into some movement this morning. Ready. Taking that right leg out this time. Go. Squat and kick. I like to keep count of my reps on my first few rounds. Just gives me something to stay focused on. Trying to keep some sense of, what is the word I'm looking for? Consistency. Lost my word there. And rest. All right. Just very gentle. Ready, and go. Really driving down into that standing leg. Feel that lift from the inner arch of the foot, inner thigh, all the way up into the belly. Keep that chest lifted as we work. We've got 3, 2, 1. Beautiful. And go. That was 10 for me. I don't know if you guys are counting. That was our 4th round. We are halfway through here. And go. We've got 5 seconds left here. Think about TABATA, those first few rounds feel real easy. By about round 5 or 6, you start feeling it. And go. And rest. All right, we've got one more on each side here. How are those hips feeling? They should be feeling a little warm. Ready, and go. Another beautiful morning here in Arizona. I don't know where you're at, but we're lucky to be here. All right, ready? And last set here, go. As I start fatiguing, I can feel myself wanting to lean over that straight leg, trying to hold it. We've got 7 seconds. And done. Beautiful. All right, so our next set is gonna be our jump rope. Like I said, if you don't have a jump rope, we can go through the motions of jump roping. So basically you just wanna find a space where you can kind of coordinate arms with those little hops. Otherwise, grab your jump rope. Basic movements. If you want to get fancy, you feel free. We got 20 seconds of work, 10 seconds of rest. We're going. And 3, 2, 1, go. Always a little short. Slow to start on the first one. We got 5 seconds. Rest. To tie my hair up today, because if not, my ponytail gets stuck in my jump rope. Go. My jump rope record was 500 jumps without losing it. And rest. I don't know if I have that in me today. But so far, so good. All right, we're going on round 3, and go. Three seconds left. 2, 1, and rest. Whew, calves are burning. Heart rate's coming up a little bit. And go. You're halfway here. 10 seconds. Rest. Oh yeah. Whew. Halfway. We got 4 rounds left. And go. Five, 4, 3, 2, and 1. Whew. All right, that was round 5 here. And go. Halfway. And rest. Whew. All right, we got 2 more left. How's that jump rope working for you guys? And go. Uh-oh. Keep going. 5 seconds. And rest. All right, we got our last 20 seconds coming up here. Whew. See if I can get that last 20 seconds unbroken. Get a little tired. Go. Seconds. 3, 2, 1, jump rope. Whew. Still messed up my hair. Can't jump around with long hair. All right, so now that we got those legs warmed up, we're gonna take it down to the mat for our high-low planks. So what that looks like, in a standard plank position, give yourself a nice wide base. So I like to keep my feet even a little bit wider than my hips, and then I'm taking it down, back up. Alternating sides. If a full plank is too much, drop it down to the knees. Focus on keeping that butt down. Our goal is to not get into this habit. We want to make sure hips stay open. We're still stabilizing through center as we work back and forth there. So really keeping that hamstring, glute, belly stabilization as we work. Full plank or kneeling plank is acceptable. We've got 8 rounds. Are we ready? Yes, we are. All right, ready, set, and go. Wait, here we go. Remember, these are nice, slow, controlled movements. It's not a race. Find a good pace that works for you. And rest. Bringing that upper body in. All right. 3, 2, 1, go. We've got 6 seconds left. And rest. Whew. I get tired on those. Ready. And go. And rest. All right, finding my rhythm there. Not getting any easier, but feeling a little more balanced. Ready, go. And rest. All right, that's our halfway point. We've got 4 more left here. And then we'll take it back up to standing. Ready, go. Check in with those hips. Make sure your butt's down. And rest. All right, we've got 3 more here. Getting a little sweaty now. And go. As you start getting tired, slow it down a little bit. Find a pace that's sustainable versus going fast and hard and resting. It's only 20 seconds of work. We've got 2 more here. And go. It's hard to remember your arm patterns. And rest. All right, we got our last 20 seconds of work here. And go. Three, two, one. dab of the sweat there. All right, so our next one, coming back up to a standing position, and we're going around the world lunges. So around the world lunges, that means we're gonna stay on one leg for each 20-second interval. So you're stepping forward, pressing back, stepping side, pressing back, and then stepping to a back lunge and back to center. Now you have the option, if you want to make it a little more challenging, when you step back, let's see if I can do it, you press to balance. So stabilize on that standing leg, and then back up, balance, back, and up to balance. So up to you, whatever feels good for you. If you struggle with balance, even with putting the foot down, you can hold again a broomstick, a chair, get close to a wall, just something that makes you feel secure. We always want to look at quality of movement over speed, and you know, just giving yourself that opportunity to find a space that feels like you're going to be successful. So you're at home alone, nobody's judging you, maybe your dog or your cat. Nobody else, we don't know. All right, so let's start with our right leg, stepping forward first, out to the side, and then back. We'll circuit through for 20 seconds, then we'll switch over to our left leg. Ready? 3, 2, 1, go. So same thing on this one. Try to find a pace that you can sustain. So count your reps on these first rounds, and then try to keep that going. If you're coming up to balance, you probably will get fewer reps, just because I want that pause at the top. I don't want it to be kind of a continuously like falling around. I want it to be like you're up, you're stuck, and then you move on. So back, pause at the top, freeze, and out, and pause, and step back, and pause. Really finding that posterior chain on the stabilizing leg. So I really want to think hamstring, glute, and then step back, press down in my heel, hamstring, glute, and forward. All right. That was round 2. You get 3 more opportunities on each leg. Ready, and go. Pause, over, and whoop, pause. 2, 3. Good job, guys. Keep moving. Almost done here. All right, getting ready for our next leg. This is our 4th round, by the way. We've got one more exercise left today. Go, and back. Whoop. It's that lateral one I struggle with coming back. All right, we are halfway here. And go. We've got 5 seconds here. All right, back over to that left leg next. And go. Whoop. Oh, missed one. I'll get it on the next round. Let my mind water for just 1 minute. All right, we've got one more on each leg. And go. Beautiful. All right, we've got our last 20 seconds of work here. Back on that left leg. And go. 3 seconds. Good job, guys. All right, grab a sip of water. We've got our last 4 minutes of TABATA work here before we go into some nice Pilates work. Okay, so this next one, I'm gonna start down here. So we're doing lateral plank walks. So I'm gonna find my plank position, step out, in, out, in, just going the distance of my mat. If it doesn't feel good, again, if you're on your knees, you can kind of vary that, and in, out, and in. But work on your plank if you can. If the walking motion is too much and you want to work on just holding a plank, you feel free to do that. So it's basically a 20-second plank movement. Lateral walks are what we are doing here, but do what feels good for your body today. We've got 8 rounds to finish up. Ready, and go. Try to keep those hips down. Stay tight through the center. And rest. All right, 3, 2, 1, and go. Three seconds here. And rest. Whew. And we're going. This is round 3. And go. And rest. We are officially halfway through this round. Our last 4 rounds are coming up here. And go. Five seconds. 3, 2, 1. Whew. We've got 3 rounds left here. Just enough time to really get sweaty. Go. And rest. Whew. Hey, Jack. And go. We've got 40 seconds of work left here. We're going to stretch these wrists out at the beginning of our cool down. And rest. All right. Last 20 seconds of work. Coming up right here. You guys got it. And go. All right. Good job, guys. We are officially done with Tabata Monday. Now time for a little Pilates. So we're gonna do some stretching for those wrists. A little bit of core work, some balance work. Pull these guys off. Grab a sip of water. Grab a towel if you need it. All right. So as we get started, like I said, we're gonna do a little bit of work for the wrist. So I want you to come up into a kneeling position. And then the first thing we're gonna do is turn the tops of the hands down onto the floor. And then kind of lean into it. And then start to bring your hips back towards your heels. So again, it's not a super comfortable movement. It's just kind of taking them into that opposite. So then you can kind of roll back, come up onto your knuckles, and then let the wrist, again, fall forward. Just depending on your mobility, you might not be able to get the wrist all the way down onto the mat. Just kind of find what feels good, and then kind of sway side to side. Good. All right, so now from there, we're gonna go back here, and then same thing, kind of just bring the shoulders side to side as we hold. And then maybe rotate the hands out to the side. And then turn the palms so that they're facing toward, or the fingertips so they're facing towards you. And then we're gonna just start sitting back towards the heels again. See how far back you can go while keeping the heel of the hand anchored. One more time like that. Good. And now as we come back, I want you to let the heel of the hand lift, roll onto the folds of the fingers. Feel that stretch across the palm. Reach those thumbs out wide, and then come forward. Again, roll back onto the fold of the fingers, reach out through those thumbs. One more time. Beautiful. And then from there, let's do some little circles, kind of around. And last two. As we come back, just do some little rolls with the wrist here. Good. Then we're just gonna allow those knees to open. Heels are still down. And just slide the hands out, taking it into a child's pose. Letting the forehead rest on the mat. I like to really reach out through my fingertips. And then really feel the tip of my tailbone lengthen down. And then keeping my right hip heavy, I'm gonna walk my fingertips over to the left. So really feeling that right sit bone draw back as my fingertips reach over to the left side. Give me 3 nice deep breaths there. Breathing in through the nose, feeling your back open up and get wide. And then that open mouth, soft jaw, exhale. And then walk it back over to the right. And we're gonna do the same thing. Hold there, feel that left hip reach back, anchored down. Left fingertips are reaching up and out. All the way back into center. Slowly slide back up to a seated position. I'm gonna sit back on my heels If that's not comfortable for your knees or for your hips, feel free to bring your legs out in front of you, sit with legs crossed. It's up to you, wherever you want to sit here. We want to find this sense of length down through the tip of the tailbone. So as we sit, the tendency is to kind of sway, especially for girls, we tend to want to go into the swayed back. So really think about keeping that length down through the tip of the tailbone, that lift up through the front of the belly, and keeping the space between your ribs and your hips stabilized. So we're really supporting the spine anteriorly through the abdominals. We're going to take the arms overhead, and I want you to start with just this little shoulder shrug. So as you inhale, the shoulders are going to rise up. Try to get your earlobes and shoulders to touch. And then as we exhale, without bending your arms, just slide the shoulder blades down, feeling them just kind of connect back into the ribs. Feel that shoulder blade to deep belly. Inhale, shoulders rise. Exhale, bring it down. If you have a towel close by, sometimes a towel helps with this. It helps you just kind of connect with your shoulders. You can do a little roll of the towel and bring it overhead. You may need something a little bit longer if you're tight in your shoulders, but as you pull the shoulders up around the ears, maybe put a little tension on that towel, and then exhale, shoulders slide down. Just a little added connection, nothing you have to use. Let's do 2 more. Next one. Good. So now we're going to inhale here. As we exhale, I want you to bend your elbows and really bring the elbows down, feeling again that connection in the back. So be careful that we're not, again, popping those ribs forward and swaying the back. We're staying connected through the front of the body, opening up the chest by drawing the elbows down. Inhale as we reach, but keeping the shoulders connected this time. Lower and reach. Last 3, 2, last 1. Beautiful. All right, so from there we're going to rise back up into that tabletop position. Open your knees up, sit back into your heels, and then we're going to take that right hand and slide it underneath your left arm. Try to get that right shoulder to anchor onto the mat. My right shoulder, right ear come down to the mat, and I'm going to reach that left arm long. Trying to keep my hips down towards my heels as much as I can, just kind of creating a slight spiral of the spine, but really opening up the back of the shoulder on the right side. Feeling that connection through the left arm, left lat. And then slide it back to center. Right arm reaches out, left arm reaches. I like to take that palm and place it up towards the ceiling. Beautiful. And then as we come out of that, we're going to just lengthen the legs out, come down onto your belly for some scorpions. So, scorpions, you don't have to lay flat on your chest. You can rise up just a little bit so that you're not smashing your chest, ladies. Now I'm going to start with my left leg. I'm going to reach my left foot behind my body, letting my body reach and twist, bringing that foot towards my right hand, and then back to center. And then from there, we're going to go the other way, rolling over. Just really feeling that stretch of my lower back. The opening of the hip as my body spirals and opens. Good. Let's go one more on each side. Beautiful. All right. So as we come back into center, I'm just going to slide those elbows underneath the shoulders. So I'm supporting myself here by anchoring through my elbows. I want to feel the collarbones nice and wide. You can choose to go like open palms and press down into those palms. You can go fist, whatever helps you feel that sense of anchoring down through the bottom up, through the lower part of the arms, anchoring down through the elbows to help keep yourself lifted and wide in the shoulders. What we don't want to do is just allow your body to start to collapse here. I want to press down into the ground and feel that sense of lift through the front of my body. Now I'm going to take my attention down towards my low belly, towards my tailbone, and I want to feel just a slight engagement of my glutes. It's not a clenching of my butt. I don't want to pinch my butt cheeks. I just want to feel the sense of engagement through the tailbone, through the glutes, and this lift through my low belly. So I'm really trying to get that lower part of my belly to lift up. Maybe my hip bones or my pubic bone is my anchor. Maybe just the thighs are my anchor. How much can I lift through the front of the body to support that lower back? So we're going to go into an exercise where we're going to do a single leg kick. So I'm going to flex my left foot, and I'm pulsing from my hamstring. So I want to feel almost as if I'm lifting weight off of that left knee, left thigh, and I'm engaging my hamstring glute. I'm going to do a little 1, 2, and then as I extend that leg, I'm reaching, so pointing the toe and really trying to find a nice, straight, long leg. It's like I'm opening up the hip. Switching to the right, we're going to go 1, 2, reach it out. Find that length. 1, 2, and reach. We want to feel how does engaging and reaching through the back of the body support that lift and opening of my hip flexors and low belly. Every movement in the body is all about balance. It's all about relationships. How does your body communicating to find support, to find lift, and to find length? Let's go one more on each side. Beautiful. All right, let's lower down. So this next exercise is a double leg kick. Now the traditional exercise, you clasp your hands behind your back. If that's available to you, feel free to go into that. That doesn't really feel good for my body, especially it makes me kind of hyperextend in my elbows and just kind of feels a little bit jammed and a little bit clenched. And I want this to really be about how am I relaxing into the body, supporting my body so that it can feel like it's opening and stretching. So I'm going to use a towel behind my back. So find something that feels good for you. Like I said, if you want to clasp those fingers behind your back, you go right ahead. I like a towel. It's just going to give me a connection, kind of closing that chain so that I can really feel the back of my body here. Now, I'm going to turn my head, and every time we come down, let's alternate the side of the head that we let rest on the floor. So now this movement is going to be a double leg kick. So I'm just going to let my elbows soften so I'm not in the way of my hamstrings. I'm going to bend my knees, bring my heels together, and kick my heels towards my hips for 1, 2, 3. As I extend my legs, I'm going to lift, reaching back. So here, I want to feel my shoulders roll back, my collarbones get wide. I'm reaching down through my knuckles, out through the tips of my toes, and feeling that lift through the low belly. So not focusing too much on how high I come, but more about how am I creating that length? How am I creating this nice long body, this nice stable engagement through the posterior chain? So now as I come down, we're going to speed it up a little bit more. We're going to go 1, 2, 3. Lift and reach. And down. 1, 2, 3. Lift. And 1, 2, 3, and reach. Keeping that gaze down on the mat as you lift. Let's go one more to each side. Beautiful. All right, release that towel if you had one. Let's take it back into a little child's pose. All right, so now from here, we're just gonna do some plank walkout. So I'm gonna find my plank position, and then I'm just gonna slowly walk my hands back to my toes, keeping my legs as straight as I can here. Little pause, and then a roll up, reach overhead. Good. And then bring it back down. Forward fold, reach to the ground. Try to keep those legs as straight as you can. And then walk back out, find that plank. Once I find that plank, I'm gonna lower down, going into a little cobra, reach, little elbow catch there. Bringing it back down, tucking my toes, and walking back. Find that forward fold. Whew, feels good on the hamstrings. Roll it up and reach and dive back down and walk out into that plank. Plank position. Lower down, extend, toes tuck as you find that plank. Walk it back, pause in that forward fold, and rise up. Beautiful. Let's do that 2 more times. Fold forward, walk it out, find that plank, lower, extend, and roll it up. All right, here's our last one here. Good. On this last one, as we walk back to your feet, I just want you to hold that forward fold for a second. If you're touching the ground, grab onto the opposite elbows. Let the back of the neck relax. And just do a little side to side sway. Feeling all of that tension release out of the hamstrings, out of the lower back, out of the back of the neck. Beautiful, guys. Wiggle those toes around. Really find that weight in the heels as we start to feel the tip of the tailbone lengthen down towards the heels. The low belly scoops. We're stacking up 1 vertebrae at a time. One more time. Take those arms overhead. Press the palm to the ceiling. Feel that lift up through the chest, lift through the sternum. Feel that length down through the tip of the tailbone and into the heels as we gently press the pubic bone forward. One big gaze up to the ceiling or up to the sky. And then release that. And we are all done today, guys. Thank you for joining us. We'll be back here tomorrow at 9 a.m. We've got mat Pilates up on our YouTube channel, so if you're looking for something a little bit more gentle, a little bit nicer for your body, we'll be uploading those on Wednesdays and Saturdays, but we'll have them all archived on YouTube. So hope to see you again tomorrow. Thanks.